Shabbat Shalom. Well, we've now entered the month of Elul, and Rabbi Strauss last week mentioned that we first want to take a look at our past, not our history, but our memories, Zachor, our memories of where we've been in an effort to analyze and think about and reflect upon how we want to change and become better in the coming year. So the first step is to look at where we've come from. And now we want to start to look forward to how we want to change how we behave. And one of the articles that's linked in this email is a blog by Rabbi Yonatan Udren, where he mentions that when he was in rabbinical school many years ago, he wrote down a list of character traits he wanted to work on before the High Holy Days. And so during the whole month of Elul and through the High Holy Days, he referred to that list over and over again and tried to work on those character traits to improve his behavior, to improve the way he interacted with people and his spiritual life in the world. And then he said many years later, he was getting ready for the High Holy Days. He pulled his Machzor, his High Holy Day prayer book, off the shelf, and out fell the piece of paper that had those character traits listed on it that he remembered that he wrote down when he was in rabbinical school several years earlier. And he suddenly noticed that he had just made up an almost identical list for this Rosh Hashanah, this new year, of character traits that he wanted to work on again. The very same character traits he had done many years before. And he felt, why am I still stuck in this place? And then he referred to a teaching from Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, which says that the process of teshuvah, returning to God and turning towards better behavior, the process of teshuvah, corresponds to God's name Ehyeh, which means I am ready to be, I will be. And so the process of teshuvah is saying to yourself, I am ready to be somebody different today than I was yesterday. What's interesting as I was reading that article is that the Musa Movement, there's a movement in Judaism of self-improvement called Musar. And a lot of it was based on a very similar idea, taking 17 character traits in particular and working on one character trait for each week out of a year. And then at the end of the 17 weeks, we would do it again with 13 character traits. And then you would do it 4 times during the course of a year. It's 52 weeks. And this idea actually originated not with a Jewish person, but with Benjamin Franklin. He wrote this down in his diary, that this is what he intended to do, and he wrote down 13 character traits that he wanted to work on, and he had a column, 7 columns for each character trait, and for each day of the week that he was going to work on the one character trait, he'd make little marks about whether he was able to improve in that character trait or not each day of the week. Menachem Mendel Levin, a Jewish scholar in Poland, actually read Benjamin Franklin's autobiography in Polish. It had been translated, and he said, this is a great idea. We should adapt it for Jewish Musar. And so he did. And ever since then, the Musar movement has used that same system. But what's interesting about that is that Benjamin Franklin already knew that you had to keep working on the same character traits all the time. 4 times every year, he worked on the same character trait. Year after year, he's working on the same character traits. Because, unfortunately, human beings, we're not perfect. We always make mistakes. But we can still strive to be better. And that's why this idea of Ehyeh, I am ready to be, I am ready to do better this year in each of these different ways, is so meaningful. So that's one thing you may want to do. Write down a list of things that you want to work on in this month of Elul and leading up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It can be a short list or a longer list, things that you want to work on to help make the new year a better year for you. I want to wish you and your family a Shabbat Shalom, and we're looking forward to seeing hopefully everybody either online or in person for the High Holy Days. Those who feel comfortable coming in to the synagogue, we'd love to see you. Of course, you have to be vaccinated and wear face masks. Anyways, Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you soon. Take care.